As the first day of school is around the corner, we're checking in with experts who are sharing some insight on the impact of parent involvement and early education. Joining me this morning is Jawan Burwell. He's a doctor who wrote 2 books about this topic. Now, Dr. Burwell, there are 5 stages of adult development when it comes to child. Now, tell me a little bit about just how your books impact that and just that connection there.
Yeah, absolutely. So I was very excited to write these 2 books, Daddy's Classroom and Engaging Fathers. And it talks a lot about how fathers can engage in the classrooms with their children. And it also talks about the importance of those developmental milestones. So we're talking about cognitive development, physical, social, language as well. So fathers, as well as our families that are engaging, they do a lot with increasing those developmental milestones.
Wow. And being able to be a part of those milestones, I know you have children yourself. Tell me a little bit about just how you've seen them grow and how that just sparks into their personalities.
Yeah, absolutely. So just walking into work every single day and serving as a father figure for many of the children that I do work with on a daily basis, it just sparks a movement for me. I love walking into work every single day, just seeing those children thrive, seeing the work that they do on a daily basis, seeing them jumping for joy, jumping, listening to music, just different things like that. It's such a joy just to walk in to work, just to be able to experience that.
That is beautiful. And something that you mentioned, I know is one of the topics in your book too, how it talks about the distinguish and when you're speaking to parents, kind of recalling them parents instead of just saying the specific terms like mother or father or things of that nature. Tell me about why it's important to include everyone, especially family.
Absolutely. It's very, very important. Also because when we're talking about families, like you said, we don't just want to say mom or dad because that can include everyone. We want to make sure that we are including everyone that is working with the child because our overall goal is to ensure that every child is successful, whether it is the mom, whether it is the dad, whether it is the grandmother, either guardian. It's just very important that we include everybody when we're working with children.
I know earlier you talked about different strategies, so I wanted to ask about some strategies that some parents who are here watching this, what they can do to connect with their children.
Yeah, absolutely. The main thing is being intentional with your children. When you're working with your children, I think the biggest thing is that we are being inclusive, we're being intentional, we're providing activities that will help them be supported. They will also make sure that they are doing things that the children want to do. So a lot of times we like to, pick and choose what we want to do for the children, but sometimes we should let the children choose what they want to do because sometimes they think what we choose is boring. So we want to just make sure that we are including them in what we are wanting them to do. So absolutely.
And speaking of choosing, since you have 2 books here, I wanted to ask about just what are some of your favorite points in the book that you want people to know, and kind of if someone has to choose one or the other, what would you recommend first?
Yeah, absolutely. I think for children's literature, this would be the book that we would choose first. It is entitled Daddy's Classroom. It does talk a lot about how we get our fathers engaged in early childhood education. And what is very special about this book is I am included as one of the characters in the book. So this is me as Marquise. This is my dad, Mr. Henry. And then up in the corner up here is Mr. Jordan, who is actually my brother who works in early childhood as well. So those that are looking to work in early childhood and get fathers engaged, this is very, very important. And then for the second book that I wrote, Engaging Fathers, this book is basically a resource guide that talks a lot about my personal experiences working in early childhood. It tells my personal stories for educators, for advocates, for anyone that are working with children that are trying to get them involved in early childhood education. It tells a lot of the strategies that I use personally that have worked for me. So either or, it's hard to choose which one I would do first, but for my educators and advocates, I would do this one, but also for my individuals that are looking to just work with children and get their fathers engaged, I would choose both of them if I was able to choose.
Wow. Well, thank you so much. Just been a pleasure just learning about this
Absolutely.
And these amazing books that you have here. Now, I do want to leave you guys with this statistic to think about. In the first few years of a child's life, more than 1 million neural connections are made, and that's according to the United Nations Children's Fund. So just imagine the difference that you can make in a child's life. In Greensboro, Giselle Thomas, WFMY News 2.